looked like it was bigger last week, those pictures that you took.
Yeah, I think there was one more stand. That's the one right there, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Not 100% sure. It was packed last week.
So because the Mercier Bridge is closed right now, they're doing weekend construction. It's a real hassle to get to the two big flea markets that I usually like to go to. Luckily, there's a little flea market that's opened up on the side of a gas station at the end of our town. So sometimes you get 2 tables, sometimes you get 60 tables. So me and my buddy Wyman decided to go check it out and see what they had.
So, welcome back to another Flea Market Adventures, guys. So, like I said, the bridge was closed for repairs, so we couldn't get to the big St. Eustache Flea Market. We're taking a chance coming to this place. It's really hit or miss here. I've come some weekends where it was jam-packed and there was between like 50, 75 sellers, and then you get days like today where there was about 15, maybe 20 tables. Everything was just sporadically all over the parking lot. Sorry, here's a Need for Speed t-shirt. A lot of decorative stuff, and this is like why I bring Wyman, because he's the other aspect of our hunting tandem. I'm always looking for video games and maybe comic books, and he looks more for tools and stuff that he could put in the backyard, stuff for around the house. He buys a lot of shelves. Old Discman over there. Bunch of belt buckles. And it was early in the morning where, again, you know, some people come late in the day to set up their tables, and you notice a lot of feet around here. There's a lot of cowboy boots. We're in the province of Quebec, but we have a lot of cowboys walking around today. This is a great spot if you're looking for records, old books. I always see tons of old dinkies, Tonka trucks, so if you're into collecting that stuff and you're in my neck of the woods, I highly suggest checking this place out. It's right at the beginning of Saint-Constant in Quebec. VHS all the time. It's usually Indiana Jones and Star Wars. I don't know if anyone collects that. Like, I myself, I'm not into VHS, but I do see the nostalgia factor in it. Of course, there's always DVD players, old appliances, lamps, old silverware, shoes. I don't see the appeal. I don't understand why people want to sell their old shoes or hats. You know, if it's brand new, maybe, but if it's used, I don't get it. Now here's a great table. This guy is a reseller, but he was more of a shoot me an offer and we'll see if we can meet in the middle. And he had some retro stuff and mostly new stuff. But the box Game Boy was really nice, very clean. If he comes back again, I might make a play on it, but it was at the $70 range. That's pretty high. Here he's got a shell for, it's spray painted, but it still looks cool if you're into switching things around to make a gold N64. Some box stuff. And again, he is a reseller, but he was willing to work on some prices. The Nintendo Wii U. Where will that stack up in the world of video games? Now here's a good little table too. They just came out for the day. Big tub of games, stuff that they wanted to get rid of. This was Xbox, PS3 stuff, and PSP games. They had the system too. A bunch of the PSP movies. Everything in here was mixed up though. I went through some of these a little later too, and you had to open the case and then match it with the game. There was other people there too, waiting to get in the box. This is the first time I employed that trick where you kind of like take up the whole area just so you could look. Now, I have no problem with, you know, sharing games and, you know, like letting other people dig. It's just when people start pulling things out of your hand that always pisses me off. Boxes of DVDs you always see too. There's a Xbox 360 Slim. Everyone's always selling keyboards. Here's some more Xbox games. Fatal Frame 2. That's definitely something that we all know I'm going to pick that up. Some more PSP games, PS3 games. I actually wanted that X-Men Nemesis, but that was one of the few games that had the wrong game in it, and I couldn't find the right game anywhere else in the bin. Good prices too, $3 a game, any game. That's what I always like to hear, where it's not like, well, this one's this much and this one's that much. I like when it's just, you know, set price. Had a hard time walking away from that bin for $3 each. I really contemplated coming back later in the day to dig around in it too, but you know, being a gamer and a collector and having not the biggest game room, I have to really decide what I'm actually going to play and what I want to keep instead of just buying now. If this were last summer, I'd probably pick up the majority of the box, but because the apartment is a little smaller, I have to really be selective on what I collect. And this Fatal Frame is one of them.
So, as you can see from the tables, there was a few cool video game related things, some games, some systems, but this was a small flea market compared to the St. Eustache one that I usually go to. Instead of walking around for 2 or 3 hours, we were there for about a half hour. Luckily, there was a few yard sales, garage sales, and there was also a new thrift shop that opened up, and we checked those out as well.
Now here's a new little thrift shop that opened up. This is the one that I mentioned before, where the woman just had yard sales pretty much weekly because she would go to estate sales and, you know, like storage war style sales, you know, like storage lockers that just the person stopped paying on. So she always had a lot of interesting things. And somebody mentioned to her, why not just open up a store? So in her garage, this place is open up 4 days a week. And this is the second time I've been here. She always has different video games, a lot of great knickknacks, CDs, old cassette tapes, furniture, stuff for the walls. A really interesting place to check out. And even here too, like look at digital cameras. So you remember like just a few years ago, like $100, $150 to pick something like this up. Now you can get it with the charger and a case, and they were like between $10 and $20.
Oh, that's who she was talking about when she said her
This one I was just checking to see the back of the screen. I was curious, and you can see how small they are. A lot of DJ Hero stuff. That's probably going to sit there for a long time. I was happy to find Maximum Overdrive. I really like this movie, but it's in French. I'm not going to watch a movie in French. There's one of my students recognizing me and saying hello. Some cords for the Nintendo Wii. Interesting stuff like this, like the Wii steering wheel. No Wii games, just stuff that came out of a storage bin. And these are really good prices. Games were like between $3 and $5. Accessories were like $1 or $2, and some loose games without the cases were $1. And again, there's always people trying to point out other things that they find interesting that they want you to look at or purchase while you're in there. But you know, it's good to mingle and socialize. It's good to like have a good rapport with the people that own the place. I don't know what I'm staring at here. Aha! All the loose Xbox games. So all of these, no case, but $1 each. And I go through all of these and I take out a fair amount of them. Mostly games that I want to play. I have Land of the Dead already, but I know a friend asked about it. It's not a great game, but for $1, of course I'm going to pick it up for a buddy. I think those are one of those pack-ins from the old Xbox magazine. And again, just looking for stuff that interests me, stuff that I don't have. And then there's things that I'm going to pass on. Sorry, I'm not playing basketball 03. And like I mentioned, this place always seems to come into games. This is the place where I found the Game Gear that I'm giving away for the 1,000 subscriber contest. where I found a couple of Game Boy Colors. Always different things here. And what's good too, she posts on her Facebook page, so I don't have to come out and necessarily check every weekend. I can just go check out the page.
Okay guys, so I just came back from the Host Flea Market. I went there again Sunday morning, and just to see if there was different tables and vendors there. Luckily, there was a few different people there. This guy had a whole bunch of standees. This is the only video game related one that he had, but it was all stuff that you would see in movie theaters, video rental stores, and this is the Superman from the Nintendo 64 Superman. On the bottom of him, there is an N64 logo and it says Game Boy. So I didn't know that a Game Boy game came out around this time with this animation, but now that's something to look for. And I just thought it was really cool. $7, like I mentioned, to pick up this standee. And clean the dust off him a little bit, and he's going to go somewhere in the game room.
Yeah, I know I said I was gonna stop coming to this thrift shop in Chateauguay, but I don't know, I found so many great things here for so many years that at least once a month when I'm in Chateauguay, I still pop in just to see what they have. So before I used to run right to where the games were, but now I know better that there's probably not going to be anything. So I came on this side room to see what kind of toys they had for my nephew or any kind of fun collectibles that I might buy for myself for the game room. So there's a few bikes, there's always stuffed animals. This is where I found that oversized Hulk and Iron Man a few weeks ago. Here's a cool little Transformer. I think Transformers Armada, or I don't know, I'm not even up to date after G1. $1, so I grabbed that guy. Then I came check over here because I need cases, and they usually have, you know, Xbox, GameCube, PS2 cases, movie cases for $1 each. Everything in there was kind of like cracked and messed up today, so I can wait. Now, coming around here, they have all the Leapfrog stuff, and all their video games, they used to have an awesome display, is completely gone. Now, whatever they have is a small selection put in a glass case, and whatever they have standing on display is usually like the big item they have, and it's pretty much eBay prices. But today, I was pleasantly surprised to see some fairly decent prices on some PlayStation 2 and some original Xbox games. Now again, I'm only grabbing games that I don't have and something that I'm actually going to play. Nothing's going to be shelf filler really. I just don't have the room for it. So right away I see that Star Wars Obi-Wan. That's something that caught my eye. That's something that I didn't play during the original Xbox heyday. No, I always find it funny too how people say, oh, Canadians and you come to Montreal, Quebecers are so friendly. I find that they're some of the rudest people, and if that offends you, you're a rude person, otherwise you'd agree with me. Over here's a bunch of Xbox stuff, the clear controller, the thumbstick's a little jacked up. Here's one of those cool wires that you can play PS2, GameCube, and original Xbox on, and then there's the Xbox for $40, I think it was. Too much for a boat anchor in my opinion. The Duke. And in typical fashion, showing you at the end of the video all the cool stuff I bought and how much I paid. A Mandalorian Star Wars transport for $3. A 50-cent Mario pillow? I cleaned it. For $5, I found this for my nephew Kingston, a Spider-Man playset, along with a handful of cars that came in these packages for $1 each. Free this was! Star Wars Heroes playing cards. The price is on there, $9.99. For free for my buddy Karen and Blair, the Super Mario Bros. Magnets. And if you'd like to check them out, you can look in the description or click here to watch the little video. $7.99, EB's deals, Golf and Life is Strange. For a quarter, I picked this up. It's the main piece for Voltron. This was the black cat. I don't remember his name, but he's awesome. For $1, I picked up this green dump truck from the new Transformers. And this was awesome, $1 each. All the BBC collections of the Walking with Dinosaurs, Walking with Beasts, etc. Big Bang Theory, Super Mario Bros. Show, and Transformers, 3 for $5. Mafia 2 and Lego Marvel Superheroes, 2 for $5. I'm packaging this with a PS3 for a trade. Sonic Generations and Tony Hawk Underground 2, $2 each, missing the manuals. That cord that plays the 3 systems of that generation, always good to have as a backup. Obi-Wan, Star Wars, and Phantasy Star Online, Xbox, 10 for both. Blood Rain and Bounty Hunter, both very good games for the GameCube, $3 each. $3 each for Playboy the Mansion, Fatal Frame 2, Marvel Alliance, and Dark Watch on the original Xbox. For $1, I actually got one with the case, Doom 3. And I also got, I think, 10 games altogether for the original Xbox. No cases, but I really want to play Jaws, I want to play Scarface, Brute Force. Even if they're terrible, I still want to give them a try. And it was my birthday on Tuesday, guys, so with a gift card I got on the Genesis Super Mario Bros. Look forward to a video. And for $100, Halo 5 with the big standee.
And that's going to do it for another episode of Flea Market Adventures, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and this is your last week to try and get in on the 1,000 subscriber contest. I'll leave a link in the description, and you can also click right here if you missed that video. And it's pretty simple. You just need to be subscribed, and you just need to like and leave a comment. So that's going to be ending. I'm going to be picking a winner June 1st. So that's our deadline, June 1st, 2016. Good luck to all that enter. And that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care, and I'm out of here.